Dr. Z, please explain us what is happening today here in Germantown.
Well, today's day 5 of our mail-in canvas here at the Montgomery College Germantown campus. I'm going to share some numbers with you guys today because that's what everybody wants to know. So right now we have received about 64,000 mail-in ballots. Over the last 4 days, we have tabulated or scanned after canvas over 41,000 mail-in ballots. And when you crunch those numbers, right now we're looking at a little bit over 22,500 ballots left to canvass. But keep in mind that this Friday, 10 a.m. is the last day to accept timely mail-in ballots that have been postmarked July 19th or before. So that number is going to change, but it gives you kind of a rough estimate of exactly where we're at. But also want to take the opportunity to thank our bipartisan canvas workers and staff for working diligently to ensure that democracy is strengthened by this canvas process.
Counting provisional ballots was scheduled for today, but it's not happening. Why?
Well, the provisional canvas research does take some time, and so right now what's important that we process as many mail-in canvas before we do the mail-in 2. So the goal is we process mail-in 1, then we go to provisional canvas, and then we do canvas 2. But all of this information in the calendar and our web stream link is on 777vote.org, but we also invite individuals to come observe in person.
This place is going to be closed tomorrow. What's happening tomorrow at the Board of Elections?
So tomorrow we're not going to convene the Board of Canvassers. However, we're going to be working at the office, processing the provisional ballots, also picking up mail-in ballots from the post office, processing them, scanning them in as received, prepping, batching, sorting. So it's still an arduous process. So for those individuals who don't understand, we welcome them to look at our small videos on Twitter, on Facebook, but also the best way to observe democracy in action is being here present.
What everybody wants to know, when we can count out the final results.
When we're done counting. So hopefully within the next couple of days, but we're here to serve.
Can you explain us what web delivery means, those ballots you are counting today?
So we started on Canvas Day 4, what is called the introduction of web delivery. Web delivery is very arduous and it's painstaking because what happens is the voter has options to vote different ways, by the traditional mail-in ballot or by web delivery, which occurs when the state will email that voter a login and a password to download from a secure server their corresponding ballot style. The issue is that it's going to be printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that you print at home or at work. And our high velocity scanners will not read that ballot printed at home. So what's going to happen is we have our bipartisan teams that will duplicate that on the official cardstock specialized paper because our high velocity scanners will not scan that 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. That takes time, it's arduous, it's painstaking. We had over 18,000 web delivery requests. Now, web delivery is a legitimate choice, but it's really for those military overseas, especially in countries where the postal service is not as efficient. And so that way you could get your ballot electronically, you could download it from a secure server, and you could send it back. So it shortens the return time or the acceptance receive time from the country of origin where the individual is voting. But at the same time, if you're in Kensington and Gaithersburg and you request a web delivery, we're here to serve.
We are doing another day of counting ballots for the Montgomery County executive race. I'm here for that race, but they're counting votes for all over Montgomery County races.
What have you seen so far?
Today they introduced machines because they're doing the web delivery ballots, so that's a new process. We've seen a lot of people working together to make sure that every vote is counted and making sure that they're following the rules, and there's a lot of them that they have to follow, so they're working hard.
Everybody's paying attention about the county council race. It's very tight. What candidate Elrich is saying about it.
He's very patient. He finds it exciting that it's going up and down, and it keeps him on his toes. But, he's back at work running the county, and, he's just taking this in stride and just being patient.
Can you explain us the process of the recount ballots?
Yeah, so a candidate will have to request a recount, and the state will pay for it if the number of votes between the top two vote getters is between 0.25% of the margin of error. So if it's outside of that margin of error, then a candidate has to pay for it. If it's below that, then the state and the Board of Elections pays for it.
Based on your experience, do you think that's going to happen here?
Probably. I would expect that whoever is up by a little bit, as it's looking like it's going to be, is going to request a recount. So that will be exciting to watch too.
Tell me what you're doing here today.
Well, the campaign asked me to come and observe the count this morning. We thought the provisional ballots would be opened this morning, but that's been postponed, and we thought there might be more, potentially more issues on those ballots. So they thought it would be helpful to have somebody with some legal background to observe.
What candidate Blair said about this tight race so far?
Well, I haven't followed it that closely. I think he's like I think both Elric and Blair want every vote to be counted, and so far as I understand, it's been fairly cordial in terms of any issues that have come up, and the campaigns both seem to want to have all the votes counted.
If you find our videos useful to you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.